Hi everyone, welcome to the AstroWigs YouTube channel. I am Marzi. Welcome back if you've already been here before, and if you are new, welcome. Please subscribe, and I am here today for the full moon in Leo pick a pile readings. I have 3 different piles here. If you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you'll have already seen the piles, and if not, I will go ahead and pan over to those right now. All right, here are our 3 piles. We have pile number 1, which is rose quartz, pile number 2, which is fluorite, and pile number 3, which is hawk's eye. So go ahead and pick whichever deck calls to you the most, and I will go ahead and get started with the readings. And if you don't already follow me on other social media, I'll have the links in the description. So yeah, I'm really excited to do these readings today. I have the 3 different piles here, the rose quartz, the fluorite, and the hawk's eye. So I am going to go ahead and get started on those. Just a little disclaimer, these are just for fun, and if they resonate, that's really great, and I'm happy. And if they don't, that's okay too. You can always pick a different reading from a different pile if you feel like that would resonate a little bit more, and if they don't, it is what it is. I also would just like to say that I don't really sugarcoat things. I just tell it as it is, and I kind of just flow with what the cards are telling me. So if that can be a little triggering for you, then I would maybe shy away. If not, happy to have you here, and if they do trigger you, I understand, and maybe another reading would be better. Not that I think these are going to be bad. They're really full moon insights. I tell it as it is, and I just like to say that before I even start the readings, just so nothing's unexpected, because you never know what the cards are going to say, and I'm just going to keep it real, just like Spirit does. So if you see me looking down, I am just looking at the cards. I'm still really new to this, and it's really exciting for me, but yeah, so I am going to go ahead and get started, and I'm just going to go through what each pile has, and then each pile is going to have its own timestamp. So I'm going to start with, there are 3 tarot cards, Rider Waite, in each pile. There is a fairy oracle for some insight on there, and there is an animal ally, which I am going to be like referring to a book for the animal that comes up, just because I'm not completely familiar with most animals, and I don't know what animals are going to come up, so I want to be able to give you guys full insight, and I'm going to be having a book pull out for those. I know some people don't vibe with that, but like, it's how I do readings. I don't want to just like make something up if I have no idea what the animal could symbolize. And then last but not least, there's a Moonology card. So I am going to go ahead and get started, and like I said, there will be timestamps for each reading in the description. And all right, I'm just going to go ahead and get started. So we are going to start with the rose quartz pile. So if you picked rose quartz, pile number 1, welcome. Welcome to your full moon in Leo reading. I'm just going to dive right into this. So let's see here. We have 3 tarot cards, as I said. So pile number 1, interesting that this is rose quartz. So 3 of Swords is your first card, 5 of Cups is your second card, and Queen of Swords is your last card. So especially since it's a rose quartz, this might have to do with some heartbreak, recent heartbreak, maybe not even recent, just really some relationship trouble maybe, or maybe not relationship, just in general, some struggle that you're going through that's really been hard on you, and it's really been almost holding you back, and something you've really been festering on. And that's really the energy I'm getting from this, especially with the rose quartz. I feel like that's also a sign that you should work with some rose quartz. So with the 3 of Swords and the 5 of Cups combined, I really feel like with those 2 cards, you are looking back on what you no longer have. You're looking back on whether it's a relationship or whatever emotional turmoil that is causing your heart to be stabbed a bunch of times. You're looking back on that, and you're asking a lot of whys. You're looking for answers. You're really feeling like, why did this happen? And instead of looking at what you have now and being in the present, you're really festering with that Five of Cups energy. You're looking at what you don't have rather than what you do. And what you do have is right in front of you, well, right behind you, and you're just not paying attention to it. Instead, you have all this focus on all this heartbreak and all this pain. And I feel like that's where the Queen of Swords comes in, and she's like, nah, she's all set with it. You are ready to move forward, and I really get that with the Queen of Swords energy. She's such a fantastic communicator, especially with the self. She knows exactly what she wants. And I'm talking in she's just because Queen, I tend to do that. But Queen of Swords here, she's a great communicator. She knows exactly what she wants, and she's not afraid to go for it, and she's not afraid to speak her truth, especially to herself. She's very clear with herself, and she's very clear with others, and she is not being held back by this pain, and she's not looking back on that pain anymore. And I think that's really what you are going to be working on during this full moon on releasing. I feel like this is going to be a big release for you. Full moons are ends of cycles, so it's like you're ending the cycle of looking back. You're ending the cycle of being hurt. You're taking that sword and you're like, I am no longer going to feel this way. I know what I deserve. I know my worth, and I know it's time to move forward. And that's really the energy I'm feeling with this reading. It's time to let go. It's time to move on, and it's time to take that sword and run with it. You know what you deserve, and you know that you're going to get it. So focus on it. Instead of focusing on what you don't have, focus on what you do and what you can have, and all the amazing things that are in your life and that are to come, and focus on the present and what can be of the future rather than lingering on this past energy of hurt and pain. And I really think that's what this full moon is really going to be all about for you. The fairy card you got is follow your dreams, and I really think that's just almost literal. It's telling you to tap into your subconscious, tap into that third eye, and just like, what are you dreaming about? Is it in tune with what your conscious mind is telling you to? Because dreams can be very, very telling, especially when you're healing. They're really important, and they're an important aspect of healing and paying attention to them and knowing what's in your dreams. And even in a literal sense, I feel like this is almost literal with this Queen of Swords. I feel like Queen of Swords knows exactly what she wants, and she follows those dreams and she makes them happen. She makes those dreams a reality. And I really feel like you're letting go of all this bad energy to follow your dreams and have your dreams come true. And you know exactly how to get there. You just gotta do that work, and you really have to do that releasing, and you really have to let go of this energy. And that's really where I see you going with that. Your animal ally is Spider, which from what I know about spiders, they're all about the divine feminine and creative energy and that flow. So I'm gonna find what that has to say in the book. Let's see. Right. Yeah, so this is interesting because the elements of Spider are air and earth, and Queen of Swords is Queen of air signs. So those resonate together. Spider is the Queen of Swords. I think that's a beautiful representation of the Queen of Swords. That's less scary, because usually people see the Queen of Swords and they're like, I don't want to be like that. She's a bitch. Whatever. She's a bad bitch, though. She knows exactly what she wants, and she knows she's getting it. So it's like, who doesn't want to be the Queen of Swords? Everybody has that energy within them. They just have to let it out. And yeah, Spider really symbolizes creativity, patience, resourcefulness. It's all about starting anew, starting over, creative projects, like really focusing on all of that. So I really see this as you're stepping out of this energy of not focusing on the self, and you're focusing on your creative pursuits, and you're channeling that Spider energy, that Queen of Swords energy, and you're really going to be coming and stepping into that. And then your moon card is new moon in Aquarius, which is interesting. Bring love into the situation. And I think that has to do with self-love. And especially since it's Aquarius season, and the new moon in Aquarius was the beginning of this moon cycle. You're at the end of this moon cycle in the full moon in Leo now. you're ready to let go of this heartache. You're ready to let go. And you have to bring that love back to yourself. Feel that love within yourself and know that you're worthy of it. And know, don't look at what you lost. Look at what you have and look within yourself. And look within yourself for love that you may feel like you're lacking. And I really feel like that is what you're going to be completing within this moon cycle, especially with this full moon. This full moon's really fiery. It's a Leo moon. It's all about passion and desire, and especially this reading makes sense around Valentine's Day. People get sad during Valentine's Day. It's inevitable if you're going through heartache, or if you're single, like, or even if you're not and you're just having relationship problems. But I think the main message is to find love within and move forward fearlessly and follow those dreams, because you're deserving of them. Know your worth and know what you're deserving of, and it's really going to come to you. So that's your reading for the full moon in Leo. I hope that you enjoyed it. Leave some feedback in the comments if you did enjoy it, or if you didn't, or if you have any questions. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much. Like and subscribe, and yeah, thank you. All right, hello, pile number 2. If you picked the fluorite, then this is your reading. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'm going to go ahead and get started with the tarot cards, and we'll just delve right into this. Let's see. So first you got the Wheel of Fortune, followed by the, I'm dropping it, the Tower, and then followed by the Empress. So there's a lot of big energy here. Whole major arcana reading. It almost feels like with the Wheel of Fortune that this energy started in the beginning of the moon cycle with that new moon in Aquarius, but like Wheel of Fortune's all about good luck and like finding that karmic flow, and like all about turning points, which goes almost hand in hand with the Tower. Like a lot of people are scared by the Tower because it's a scary looking card. Like, yeah, but like I love getting the Tower. I know this isn't about me, but I think these just go hand in hand, because the Wheel of Fortune is all about change, and the Tower is like the change is here. So I feel like during this moon cycle you had a lot of change occur, whether it was good or bad. It was an intense time for you, and there was a lot of self-realization during this time, and I'm almost feeling like there were some karmic bonds involved, or karmic energy that was really breaking during this time, and it was a really intense and harsh time for you. And I feel like with this full moon in Leo, you're really stepping into that Empress energy, and you're finding that wholeness and that divine feminine, and you really are stepping out of that Tower. You went through it all, and now you're at this place of calm. And like, it's just funny the difference between these two cards. Like, you got the Tower, and then you got the Empress. It's like she's sitting outside the fallen tower. Like, she's just chilling there, and she's like, well, the tower fell, and now I just am in the forest, and I'm chilling. And I feel like that's where you're gonna be at with this full moon. You're gonna like kind of collect yourself from all that you went through during this moon cycle, and it's like, okay, this all happened, but I still have me. I'm still me, and I'm still powerful, and I'm still who I am, and I'm still strong, and I am still worthy, and I am ready to move forward. And I feel like this is really you stepping into your own energy again, and stepping out of that Tower energy, and you're gonna like be routed back to that like good luck energy, and you're like, that might have almost felt lost during this Tower phase. And I feel like it's just like the calm after the storm. Is that even a term? But that's the energy I'm feeling. Like, the storm's over. You can relax now. You're stepping into this Empress energy, but it's a matter of letting go of what like you've been through. Like, if an intense shift just happened, this full moon is a great time to just sit back and be like, okay, I'm ready to release this. I'm ready to move forward. I'm ready to be in this Empress energy. And that's really where I feel this reading is. You are able to see everything from a different perspective because you've been through it all, and you're ready to move forward, and you're ready to be in that power energy and that divine feminine energy and just be, rather than feeling like you're falling down. And I really feel like this full moon is going to be a great time for you with that. The fairies have to say, raising your standards. So with that, I feel like it's knowing your worth and knowing that like that tower time is over. Now it's time to just be in your own self and know your worth and know what you're deserving of, and stepping into that power and knowing that you're deserving of it, rather than festering in what you may feel like you don't deserve, and or like festering in the tower. Really, like, it's hard to like, sometimes it's hard to process when you're going through something, and I really think that's what is this full moon is all about for you, letting that processing finish, because you went through it. It's time to move on and step into that Empress power. She wants to jump out. She wants to be strong, and she wants you to be strong. So that's really the energy I'm getting with that. The animal ally I got was Scorpion. So let's see what the Scorpion has to say. I, of course, immediately think of Scorpio. So whether you're a Scorpio or you maybe are involved with a Scorpio in this whole tower situation, but yeah, Scorpions are all about control, inner strength, and good defenses, sex and beauty, and jealousy, all the things like Scorpio represents. So I feel like you've been in a sensitive time, and you're really stepping into this like divine, powerful time, and I really see these going hand in hand in that way. You're really stepping out of feeling like you're lost and feeling like you're trapped in the tower, because the tower fell. It's done. You are ready to move forward, and you're ready to step into your power and creativity and your strength, and just know your worth and know your power. And I really feel like that's the big message that we're getting here. So the moon card we got, interesting, is the full moon in Scorpio. It's time to release negativity. So there's a lot of Scorpio energy here. It's interesting, this is the full moon in Scorpio energy, but it's a full moon in Leo. But we got the Scorpion card here. So I really feel like it's letting go of this mentality. You're letting go of the tower mentality. You are stepping outside the tower. It happened. It's time to move on. It's time to step into yourself again. It's time to let go of all those festering negative feelings that may be held. It's time to just step out of feeling lost and entrapped in just like all the scary things that come with the Tower card, because it's not a scary card. It's just about, okay, everything's different now. And I think it's really just accepting, yes, things are different now, and it's okay. And I'm okay. I am the Empress. And I think that's really the overall message that's here, is that just because something bad may have happened doesn't mean it's forever. And it's time to let go of that. And I really feel like you're going to be releasing that in this full moon. So sorry, my phone died. So anyways, like I was saying, you're going to be releasing a lot during this full moon. You are going to be stepping out of that Tower energy into the Empress energy. And I really just see you letting go of what may feel like negativity and stepping into your power. So that is your full moon in Leo reading. I hope it resonated. If not, that's okay. Please like and subscribe. Comment below with any insight, or if it resonated, I'd love to hear your thoughts. All right, thank you. Hello, pile number 3. If you picked the Hawk's Eye, this is your reading. Thank you for tuning in. I'm just gonna go ahead and delve right in. So with the tarot cards, we start with the Ace of Swords, followed by the Fool, and then we end with the Six of Wands. So there's a lot of great energy here, especially like since it is the full moon, we're at the end of a cycle here. I feel like the end of cycles are starts of new beginnings, and with the Ace of Swords, you are being presented with that opportunity. It is right in front of you, and it's a matter of taking that sword and not being afraid to speak your truth and knowing your worth in the situation, knowing what you're comfortable with, and not being afraid to communicate that. Especially with the Fool here, I feel like there's a lot of new energy here. There's like this new leap that's coming, and there's new opportunity. I'm almost seeing it in a workplace. I really feel like there's going to be a lot of communication, though. And it's going to be a lot of you communicating what you want from the situation, whether it's a work situation or whatever the situation may be. It's a lot of using your voice and knowing not to be naive in this situation. Don't have that blind faith. And I really think the Fool is almost a warning in that way. You have this beautiful new beginning, but it's a matter of making sure it's exactly what you want and almost negotiating. And I really, with the Ace of Swords right here, I see a lot of negotiation here. And I see you speaking your truth and being like, this is what I want. And this happened before, so I'm not going to let that happen again. And I think it's really using this Fool energy to not be in a space where you're uncomfortable and using it to your benefit rather than just diving in head first and being like, well, this is here, I'm ready, let's go. I don't see that happening. I see a lot of negotiation. I see a lot of compromise, but I do see that leap of faith. And like, if something doesn't feel quite right, being like, using your voice, being like, I don't like this. And it might even just be that even though there are those few things that aren't perfect, taking that leap anyways, because you end with this beautiful celebration card. It looks like you're going to get what you want out of the situation, no matter what it may be. But you have to not be afraid to use your voice. And that's, I think, the key in getting what you want here and getting to this point of celebration is not being afraid of being like, hey, I'm not comfortable with this, or just not jumping in blindly. And I really see that, I do see the Fool as a warning to assess the situation, and especially combined with this Ace of Swords. Assess the situation, know what you want, and don't be afraid to communicate that, because if you're jumping into something new, then you're gonna really need to communicate what you want, because it's your life ultimately, and you're living your life to your fullest. And if you can't get what you need out of a situation fully, there's always that wiggle room. And I do see that with the Fool as well, but I really see it as like, if there's like this strong opposition, talk about it. Or if it's with a job, I'm really seeing like, even though there's no pentacles here, I'm seeing like, if you don't feel like they're giving you enough pay, don't be afraid to speak that. Be like, negotiate a little bit. And I really see the Fool as being like, well, I'm worthy of this, I'm deserving of this, and this is what I want. I'm not gonna fall for that. And I really see it working out for you, because you get that beautiful Six of Wands energy, and you're gonna be celebrating. And then with the fairies, it's inner power. And I really think that goes hand in hand with the Ace of Swords here. I see that as knowing your worth, knowing what you're capable of, and not being afraid to speak it, and not being afraid to, while you want to take that leap of faith, being like, well, I have these hesitations, but they're not stopping me. I see a lot of communication here, and I see you communicating what you want and need out of a situation, and it all working out in the end. So, your animal ally is the skunk. What a cutie. So I'm gonna just see what the skunk's all about. All right. So, yeah, so skunk's all about examining the situation, especially with dealing with others, and not to take yourself so seriously. Skunk reminds me of the Fool. Make sure you're not coming across as defensive without reason, encourages you to be adventurous, curious, adaptable, inquisitive, playful, and loving. Not to be easily intimidated, and that you're courageous but not aggressive. Skunk means to begin a new adventure, take a trip, start a new project, or become an authority in a new subject. To keep learning, investigating, and uncovering interesting things in your life. So that goes hand in hand with the Fool here. But I really see that as that Ace of Swords as well. You have this beautiful energy coming towards you, and I really see that. And to not be afraid. I'm just looking at the skunk book. I think the Ace of Swords is that lack of intimidation, especially with the Fool here. And I really see this just all coming full circle for you. Trust in yourself. Be confident in yourself. Know that it's okay to speak up for yourself. And also just take that new adventure. Say yes. There's a clear say yes here, but also like don't be afraid to negotiate a little bit. Your moon card is new moon in Taurus. Prosperity lies ahead. So like I was saying before, I really see this as like a career shift maybe, or a promotion, or negotiating within the workplace. Although there were no pentacles in this reading, I'm really feeling like you are going to be speaking for yourself and really taking that Fool energy to take a leap of faith and communicating and having the end prosperity. So don't be afraid of your own voice, and don't be afraid to take that risk, but also just don't be naive about it. You're going to come full circle, and it's going to be you're going to have a lot to celebrate. And I think that's what this full moon is all about for you, realizing that you are capable of it. So that is your reading. I hope it resonated. Feel free to like and subscribe if it did. If it didn't, I'd love to hear in the comments. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for tuning in.